Hey guys. All right, we are continuing to look at 5G3 and 5G4, looking specifically at quadrilaterals today, which are a special type of polygon that have four sides and four angles. Quadrilaterals, this is a quadrilateral hierarchy. And the way that this works is that you can see if you start at the bottom, the arrows point up. So if you look at the bottom, you see that it has a square. It says a square is also a rectangle, is also a rhombus. Rectangles is also a parallelogram. Rhombus is also a parallelogram. Parallelogram is also a trapezoid. Trapezoid is also a quadrilateral. And then over here to the side, you have a kite, which is also a quadrilateral. So everything that falls beneath a category on a hierarchy also has the characteristics of the shape above it. So specifically, let's start at the top. All quadrilaterals, everything on this chart, well, first of all, polygons, that's the greater heading here. All of these are polygons. They are all closed figures with straight sides. Specifically, they are all quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals have four sides and four angles. So if we look over to the side at the kite, kites have two sides that are congruent. Adjacent sides are congruent. So if you think about a kite, that's more shaped like this, I guess, these two sides would be equal and the bottom two sides would be equal. In the diagram here, you can see the one line. That means that those are congruent or equal to one another. And these two sides have two lines. That means they are congruent or equal to each other. Because these have one and those have two, we know that this side is not equal to that side. So adjacent, which means touching side by side, sides are congruent in a kite. Okay. Kite is also a quadrilateral, which is also a polygon. Next, let's take a look at a trapezoid. A trapezoid can look like any of these examples and many other examples. The characteristic that identifies it as a trapezoid is that it has exactly one pair of parallel sides. So the little arrows on the top and the bottom of the trapezoids here and here on the two sides indicate that those lines are parallel, which means they will never cross. They can continue infinitely and never cross one another. They are parallel. Trapezoids have exactly one set of parallel sides. All trapezoids are also quadrilaterals and also a polygon. Notice that there's not an arrow going from the trapezoid to the kite. That's because trapezoids are not kites, okay? Trapezoids are quadrilaterals and polygons. If we go down another layer, parallelograms have opposite sides parallel. Both sets of sides are parallel. So these sides are never going to touch and the tops and the bottoms are never going to touch. So two sets of parallel sides, opposite sides, and they are also congruent. So they are equal and they are parallel, both sets of sides. So parallelograms are also trapezoids because they have one set, they have more than one set, they have two sets. Parallelograms are trapezoids, quadrilaterals, and polygons, okay? Looking even more specifically at rectangles. A rectangle has all the characteristics of a polygon, a quadrilateral, a trapezoid, a parallelogram. In addition to that, it has four right angles. So in a rectangle, you have two sets of parallel sides, you have four right angles, and you have opposite sides are congruent. So rectangles are rectangles, parallelograms, trapezoids, quadrilaterals, and polygons. If I go even further underneath a rectangle, I will find a square. A square has four right angles, four equal sides, and four equal sides. So it has all of the characteristics of the rectangle, but it also has four equal sides. It meets the qualification of a rectangle because opposite sides of a square are equal. Even further than that, all four sides of a square are equal. So a square is a rectangle and a parallelogram and a trapezoid and a quadrilateral and a polygon. It is also a rhombus. Notice that the rectangle and the rhombus split under the parallelogram, but a square is all of these things except for the kite. Um, A rhombus has 4 equal sides, but not 4 right angles. So the difference between a rhombus and a rectangle is a rectangle has 4 right angles, a rhombus has 4 equal sides. A square has 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. So a square is a rhombus and a rectangle, a parallelogram, a trapezoid, a quadrilateral, and a polygon. All right. Use the hierarchy to help you. It might help you to draw one out yourself. Good luck with this. I know you're going to do great.